Yeah, and there are some people saying Halo.
That's
Best
crazy.
believe that there are people that are actually...
Wait, hold on. Who goes around screaming F the baby? What are we even talking about?
I don't think this love for me. I don't think you the one for me.
If you've been on the internet recently, you probably have heard about DDG and Halle going at it over this custody battle. Halle got a protective order against DDG, and then DDG also tried to apply for one. I don't know all the details, so we're gonna watch this video today by Mezzi. DDG and Halle are even more toxic than we thought. Let's do it.
Oh, how the turntables have turned again. Oh, how the turntables have...
Side note, is that an Izod sweater? I haven't seen an Izod sweater in a very long time. I'm not gonna lie.
Turned again around, turned. Oh, how the tables have turned around again to turn. Look, DDG flipped the whole script on Halle, and let's talk about it. Just yesterday on June 4th, DDG filed for an emergency court order for Halle Bailey to not be able to take their child, Halo, to Italy while she did some filming, while she did some vacationing, or whatever she was doing, and not have sole custody of the child. He was claiming a lot of things about Halle and her relationship with Halo and DDG, things that include things about self-harm, suggesting that she might hurt the child and herself, allegedly an aberration was involved, and not taking the doses, taking his strap and running around the house, putting air tags in cars, physical violence, and all sorts of other crazy things. And as I was going to record this video, less than 24 hours later, we got an update that was actually denied by the judges. The judges said that she can remain with sole custody and that she can take the child wherever she does.
So when it comes to an actual custody battle and a protective order, anything like that, it's really difficult because you need to have physical proof. There has to be some sort of proof against the person that you are going to court with. So it's very believable that Halle has some type of evidence against DDG, and that's how she was able to go and get her restraining order and primary custody, right? Whatever DDG went to court with, it couldn't have been any physical evidence. It might have just been he said, she said. And not only that, but around this time they were just having Halo, so it's like, women's hormones are completely different when they are pregnant. As you could see right here next to me, I have a pregnant woman, so I can 100% say that all hormones change. Would you agree with that statement, ma'am?
I suppose.
She supposes. I mean, he might have also done something. We're gonna see what he ended up doing, though. Because I truly.
And I know a lot of the internet and timeline is upset and trying to figure out left from right, up from down. But let's unpack everything that we know so we can come to a conclusion together as a family. At this point, I am tired. I just clicked off of recording this video, and it has just come out that DDG was actually granted that restraining order, that temporary restraining order.
Whoa, what? DDG's attorney released a statement to XXL opposing prior reports that DDG was denied a temporary restraining order against Halle Bailey. The court granted Mr. Granberry, that's his name? DDG's last name is Mr. Granberry? No shade, bro. I've never heard of that last name, though. Unimportant. A temporary restraining order, TRO, based on the serious allegations set forth in his application. The statement reads, the issuance of this order reflects the court's findings that there is sufficient cause to provide immediate legal protection while the matters proceed. Holy shit. The last thing that I heard was that it was denied. So it's actually crazy that they did end up giving in to DDG's request.
Restraining order, that temporary restraining order. This is why it's so tiring to have these conversations on the internet, because there's so many bad faith actors and people who want to push narratives and agendas and things like that. But honestly, I am tired of talking about this, and you'll see that throughout the rest of the video. But I just wanted to give the update here that DDG actually did get granted that temporary restraining order, so there's some equal justice for those that are looking for it. I guess
it doesn't matter about DDG or Halle right now. It's Halo, dude. He's going to see all this stuff. It's not gonna disappear. So he's gonna know that his parents went through an insane custody battle. A lot of crazy shit came out about both of them. They make it so public, and obviously they're both famous people, but the amount of information being put out into the public is just not good, especially for Halo.
She's my little mermaid.
Okay.
I don't support women just because they're women.
Yes, you do.
No, don't scream.
Yes, you do.
She can hear you.
A girl could run a man over, and your first question is gonna be, what did he do?
Because guess what? I've been with a man like that. Men will push you and push you. And then when you blow up...
How about I push you?
No. And then when you react, they're like, look at this crazy lady. He cheated. She's better than me. The amount of money she has, I would have got on a plane and whoop your culito. That's what I would have done if I would have found out you're cheating.
It's a great thing that nobody asked what she would have done.
I don't know. Keep watching. Now, off top, I've got to say this. Honestly, I'm disgusted that I even know this information. And
Facts.
I know we said a lot about celebrity worship over the past couple of days. And as this DDG and Halle situation has unfolded, we said that we weren't going to get into it and it's a nasty mess. This is the reason why. I've maintained this sentiment from the beginning. These are very personal and intimate effects, and we don't need to know this. This is something that should be handled
Oh, what's
out
up,
in
Ben?
court,
I didn't even
handled
know that
between
you were
the two
here.
of them,
Hi.
but not left for public consumption, because honestly, the way that the public consumes is not the best way for this to be judged upon.
No, it
This
is
isn't their
not.
family, this isn't their life, and they should not have so much say so. But let's just jump right into it. Now, all of these things are allegations. DDG claims that Halle Bailey was stalking him using air tags and multiple different tracking devices, not only in the baby's diaper bag, but in multiple different cars that DDG had at his property. Halle had reported that she had seen him be in Akron for a couple of days, but it seemed that DDG had left one of the trackers at Stream University or something like that. He does also acknowledge in his petition that Halle Bailey did not get hit by him. There was no sorts of physical violence caused by him, but rather the chipped tooth is explained by her launching herself into the front seat, where she went and attempted to punch DDG, and when she launched herself, her tooth hit the steering wheel, and then that's how the whole thing got chipped. And also
And this is how things get messy, because now it is a he said, she said situation, and only the people who were there know what actually happened.
there's a claim, which if I had any sort of opinion or speculation about this one has to be the one, is that DDG called up to the OB office for Halle Bailey after she had some bleeding and cramps and stuff, only to find out that she had, asked for an aberration, and she had only taken one dose out of the 2-dose of aberration procedure. Almost slipped up and said it. And a lot of those things are damning, but probably the most damning allegation is that DDG got allegedly assaulted by Halle Bailey with a knife. And that evidence was depicted in the pictures that he submitted to the court system to say that, hey, it's not me that's doing these things, it's actually her, and this whole thing is crafted by somebody, some mastermind, her or whoever the case may be. Now, because their life is totally on the internet, there's even been video depiction of Halle Bailey having these sorts of effects on her. There's a situation where DDG was seemingly streaming for too long, and Dub had to let her know to, hey, put that down, as she threatened him with a knife if he did not get off stream.
She coming. What am I supposed to do? I think he off.
No, he's not.
You want me to get up?
I mean, you're still on. We gonna go get some food.
Okay, I'm about to get up.
Okay.
She got a knife in her hand. There's a knife in her hand. Put it down. I gotta go, y'all, before I get whooped.
My only question is, why would she even have that in her hand, right? Like, I don't think that Dub is gonna just come out of nowhere and say that, but he could have. Right? He could have, but I don't think that he would do that, especially considering the fact that he's streaming. I don't think that he's that malicious.
Now, nothing physically depicted there, and I don't think that DDG and his legal team would even use that as some sort of evidence, but this is just a glimpse into how complex their relationship was during the time and is afterwards, which is displayed more throughout those text messages, which were insane. Not to laugh at it, but it was a little bit funny, but which were insane text messages as well. Just showed us how really complex their relationship was throughout this whole thing. One of those things that was discovered in those text messages was the fact that DDG had been allegedly cheating on Halle Bailey, or sleeping with another woman who DDG had been claiming was his friend for the longest time. Lala Baptiste, an online internet personality who allegedly was a participant in a action with DDG, as told by Halle through what seemed to be a
Yeah, from his reaction, it does sound like a common event. Like he explained, this is such a personal problem that I feel bad even talking about it, but it's already out on the internet. People are already talking about it, so I might as well do a little reaction video to it. Thank you, Bubba.
a tirade in the text message thread. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because this brings us to the reactions of people near and dear to the situation. Those that might know Halle, those that might know DDG, and what they think about it. And it starts off with Lala basically debunking the narrative that they had any sort of sexual interactions at all, and that DDG is just a close friend.
Context behind these accusations in general is stemming from a group trip that our whole friend group went on, right? Our whole friend group went on this trip, and everyone on this trip can confirm there was nothing weird going on. I wasn't even staying near them. It was for someone's birthday. Let's start there. There was never anything sneaky going on. Like, me and Daryl's relationship has always been strictly started off as business. Obviously, if you know, you know, like, he put me onto YouTube, started off there, grew into a friendship, has always remained platonic. So it's very unfortunate. Like, I know people already have this narrative because it's just hard to believe that a guy and a girl can be friends. Like, it's hard to believe that me and him or any other guy and girl can just strictly be platonic friends. Okay?
It seemed like all day today, Halle Bailey was getting debunked and
That's true. Nowadays, a lot of people can't be platonic friends with the other gender. The internet doesn't see that possible. It's not a reality, because if you have a friend as a man, you want to screw her. And if you have a man or you have a friend as a girl that is a man, you want to screw him. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's how the internet looks at everything. They start drama and problems over that. So it is what it is. It's just how the new world order is, basically.
slandered left, right, and sideways for her beliefs, her actions, and how she was depicted through these text messages, these screenshots, these photos, these whatever the case may be of what Daryl put out in order to get her to look a certain way and, you know, make his claim to the judge that she's not fit and I'm the actual fit one to be taking care of Halo. And Lala wasn't the only one. Because this is the internet and because DDG has grown a following over the past couple of years, it seemed like everybody had their opinion and wanted to support DDG to the fullest against what people have been deeming as evil Halle.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I already said how it is, chat. I stand on it. Chat, y'all know the truth. I put DD in a group chat with my lawyers. Shit.
Oh, so this is the reason why all this is coming out.
Man, my boy Daryl, man, you gotta make sure he's a good dude. He's a good human being.
This is why all this is coming out. It makes sense.
You know, can I just tell you guys something really quick about something like that? There needs to be a clause in legal where if a woman is trying to put allegations on a man and it gets caught in 4K, it's fake,
get in trouble.
The girl needs to do the time. Like, it's just, why the fuck is this not a thing?
Talking to this nigga Moo, I go to this nigga Moo crib, right? We talking. Like, you know, we be having, as niggas, you know, you have conversations and you just speak about the shit. This nigga says, like, you know, on your phone, right? Like, if something's near and shit, like if like AirPods or something is near, it'll alert you. Dog said he got an alert on his phone for an AirTag. He's like,
I believe that. If he got caught cheating in the past, I believe that 100%. I don't want to believe everything because I don't see proof, right? I'm a type of person that I need to see physical proof, photos, videos, texts, anything like that in order to sit here and actually choose a side, right? There's a photo of DDG's finger that's cut and allegedly Halle did that with the knife. Then there's pictures of Halle that have bruises and everything like that. They're going back and forth. So at this moment in time, I wouldn't feel comfortable saying that I believe either side, right? Something's true on one side or the other, or nothing's true. And they're just going back and forth. For it to be so open and you have so many people talking, you can't have a defined opinion. I guess that's the way that you would put it, because then you have some type of bias. Now, if everybody just came out and said the full truth, one person would get canceled immediately, and the other person, they would get, I'm so sorry for you. It would be a sympathy parade. So it's like both sides are getting it right now because nobody knows the truth. If you're a DDG fan, you're gonna side with him. If you're a Halle fan, you're gonna side with him. I'm neutral. I'm just looking over the facts, and that's it.
nigga, wait, what the fuck? Found that motherfucker in the whip.
In more and more clips, videos, screenshots, you know, something like Halle saying in the petition that he was not in LA, but screenshots of DDG actually being on stream where he was in LA.
Okay, now that's something that's not good for court, because if you're sitting there or you're lying in your court documents and there's proof against what you're saying, not good. I'm not gonna lie, that's not looking good for you. Not only that, but the anortion, he found her with one dose already taken. That's also bad in court because he had no knowledge of it. The fact that he called the gynecologist and said, yo, she's bleeding, what's the problem? It does say a lot.
Look at the Halle side and see how they were going to fight back. And what I got from the timeline was that she was in postpartum, was that she was upset, was that, you know, they're still backing her, was that DDG is lying, child safety, etc., etc., etc. Now, from the outside looking in, this seems like the most out-of-pocket conversation from Halle Bailey and the things that she is trying to plaster on DDG. But I want to go ahead and give a little bit of pause and just let people know that we do not know what's going on. If the only thing that we are talking about is from the legal sense, I think it's good to look at a lawyer's perspective and see what her thoughts are on this.
But even in the court's ability to use their discretion, they have to apply certain basic principles across the board, right? If you're going to limit one parent's time with the child or take a child away from both parents, you have to consider certain things. And there are certain red flags and buzzwords that are always going to move the needle. One is if you are violent, especially domestically. Another is if you're addicted to drugs or you have an alcohol problem. Another one is if you haven't seen the child in a long time. But another one that people don't seem to be understanding in this particular circumstance is if you can show the other parent has mental health issues.
And so I know a lot of people are saying today, after all that evidence, you know, being proven to be in DDG's favor, especially after, you know, they claim there was postpartum depression, but they've pointed out clearly that she wasn't even pregnant at the time. How could this situation go in favor of Halle where she gets to take Halo to Italy? And to be honest with you, I can't speak on it. I don't know. I heard that there was some sort of ring footage that was supposed to come out. I'm curious as to why that hasn't come out yet, since everybody is being so forthcoming. But at the end of the day,
if that ring footage come out and it actually show that DDG put hands on her, DDG's gonna be hit. If it shows that Halle jumped through the window, Halle's gonna be hit. That's why that evidence has not came out yet, because that explains the chipped tooth.
It's just a testament to how complex these situations are. We are only getting a glimpse of what the internet is showing us, allowing us to see, or whatever the case may be. We're not getting the full grasp, scope, picture, what they're telling the judges, what's really being presented, etc., etc. We're reading this from our small lens and making judgments on the internet. Now, if Halle did half of the stuff that has been said in these documents and in these claims, listen, get the baby up out of there. Full stop. But to be quite honest with you, I just don't know. In the last video I just did with celebrity worship going too far and parasocialism, I talked about how people take these small glimpses of people online and feel as if they're obligated to more information that they can pass judgment. But the reality of the situation is that these people are living actual lives. So while we're screaming fuck DDG, fuck Halo, fuck Halle, yeah, and there are some people saying fuck Halo.
That's
best
crazy.
believe that there are people that are actually—
Wait, hold on. Who the fuck? Who goes around screaming F the baby? What are we even talking about? The baby doesn't even know anything. What? What? People on the internet really need some psychiatric help. I promise you. If you are one of those people, go get help, please.
In this situation actually getting hurt, whether it be emotionally or physically. And I know fence sitting isn't the most popular thing to do on these platforms about these sorts of topics, but I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Stuff like this is so tiring to me, because if you've seen situations like this in real life, and I'm not even necessarily talking about situations of domestic violence, but I'm just talking about complex relationships, and damn near all relationships are complex. You know that it is not cut and dry like that.
It's
and
never
you
cut
know
and dry.
that ultimately these people—
There's three sides of a story: the guy's side, the girl's side, and the truth. And it's very rare that the truth always comes out.
And you know that ultimately these people are doing these things to get back at each other, and has nothing to do with the health and safety and well-being of the child. I can't excuse any actions, and I don't look to. I can't acknowledge or say that I understand any of these actions because I don't know what's going on. And personally, I don't think it's any of our business. I think this just goes to show that these celebrities are just like you and me, and that we should probably take a step back, because this just only gets crazier as we unravel everything. But I know people will be back when the ring camera footage comes out, or when Halle is back on tour, or the next woman says that DDG is the best thing that's ever happened to her. This is just so messy. I honestly don't even want to touch it anymore.
Well, it's a good thing that he doesn't want to touch it, because I will. Shout out Omezi. Basically, what I'm going to say is that you never know both sides of the story. Halo is going to feel the effects of this custody battle for the rest of his life. It's going to ruin somebody's life. Maybe not entirely ruin, but it's going to give somebody a bad name. It's already given them both bad names. Some people are saying fuck DDG, some people are saying fuck Halle, and some people are just saying I don't give a shit about the whole situation. It's a really messy situation that I would not wish on even my worst enemy, bro. It's like the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp situation, dude. It's just not good to have this many eyes on it. Let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. Leave a like, and I do apologize for eating during this video, but I am hungry and I'm currently streaming. So with all that being said, I hope that you guys have a great day, evening, night, whatever the case is, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Take care.
I don't think this love for me. I don't think you the one for me. I don't think you see me when you fucking up all in your dream. I don't think you got trust for me. Just ain't what I